In this demonstration, we'll talk about how the role of the accountant and how to help them manage their day-to-day detail-oriented work of doing the accounting for the company. We'll start with the quick access to financial information. We'll add a new account to the general ledger. We'll show you how to enter in a journal expense, both from a manual, typical traditional process, as well as using the Excel import. And then we'll analyze the impact on that account. So in the first scenario, we'll demonstrate just quick access to financial information. The accountant role tailored homepage that's on display here offers metrics, cues, and shortcuts to key areas within the application that are relevant to this role owner. So you could see here again shortcuts such as finance, journals, cash management, cost accounting, and fixed assets, etc. Again, provide shortcut access directly to the areas that are most relevant to this particular role. When we scroll down, you'll see all the information that provides, again, details within a single click, such as key accounts in the top left corner, my vendors, my customers, as well as the financial performance. And then you could scroll even further to see, again, some additional detailed charts, a cash flow statement, as well as we've got this aged accounts receivable on display. And it's clearly alarming to see outstanding receivables longer than 4 weeks, better yet, 10 weeks. I think as that role owner, we probably want to drill in to see that what's causing that 10 weeks to be past due. So we'll probably need to call that customer immediately to make a collection on that. You'll see here under the cash flow that I could hover over April and I can get a quick view of some of the key indicators regarding that cash flow, my outflows, inflows, etc. As I scroll up, the accountant should have access to uh, the chart of accounts as well as the associated balances for those accounts. So again, hard-coded into this role-based homepage is the chart of accounts. Just a couple of key areas, as users working within Microsoft applications expect. You have standard keyboard functions that work within the web application. For instance, users might want to export data from the web into Excel in the desktop experience. To do that, we can either select all by doing Control A with my keyboard, and then Control C to copy, which is the shortcut copy. Then I'll minimize Business Central, and with with Microsoft Excel, I'll simply hit Control V or paste. And now you see that users can begin to leverage Excel for that additional flexible tasks and data manipulation. We'll go ahead and minimize Excel. Now, while most key tasks are surfaced right here on the role page, you can see here, for example, I might want to quickly and easily access the trial balance report. So we'll open that up by summary. And now again, you get a quick snapshot without having to necessarily regenerate or generate a report. It just opens up on display for preview right here on the screen. Additional reports you can see here. Again, I can open up, look at my financial statements, or if I want to run some additional bi-directional, meaning refreshable Excel reports. In this case here, I'll click on the balance sheet. And again, you can see my balance sheet on display in Excel. We'll go ahead and close that out. So again, that was just to show you kind of the overview, a basic navigation for the role-based owner, the accountant. Now, as you think about most businesses, right, we've implemented the software. However, our business continues to grow, and we now need to account for expenses that we didn't already consider during the implementation. One of those is travel expense. So currently, there isn't an account number set up to track travel, but instead of always having to call our accountant or do this, you want to create that for yourself. So we'll go into the chart of accounts. And just to make sure, I'll use my shortcut key again, F3, or you could leverage the search right here. So when I hit F3, it enables that, and I'll type in travel. And again, currently travel's not an account that is set up nor used for tracking in the general ledger. Let's go ahead and add that account. I'll hit new. I'll enter in the new GL, general ledger account number 61550. Enter in travel expense. Now I'll choose the account category, in this case here, expenses, as well as my subcategory. In this, I'll choose travel, and I'm done. I'll close that out. Now the list, because it was filtered on travel, it only shows that on display. But again, you can see how adding an account is very simple and easy. This experience empowers the users, the accountants, to basically control this information that they want, that they need for reporting purposes. Now that I have that expense, I want to go ahead and, well, we need to add it to we've added to the general ledger. I need to record a transaction or payment to the account. So one of the requirements you learned also was to be able to track that to a particular or specific department. So let's see how that's done. So I'll select on journals, and under journals we have general journals, and I'll choose the default batch. Now the account number, right, is the one we added here for 61550. You'll see the name and the description come across, and I'll go ahead and enter in a debit amount. Now again, I wanted to, I could post that transaction today, right, with any additional steps. However, the company is needing to track certain expenses by department. Now, this is not always easy in other accounting systems. However, with Dynamics 365 Business Central, it's an option available from within the application without making major adjustments to our solution. What I do is I'll select on dimensions, and this opens up a pop-up window, and I'll choose the appropriate dimension code. In this case here, department. And then I just do select the associated value for that department. So it could be administration or production, or I'm going to choose sales because that's the team that I was going to assign this cost to or expense to. And then I go ahead and post the transaction. And it says that the journal lines were posted. I could see the impact of that just simply by opening up a detailed trial balance report. Now, beyond traditional accounting systems, right, and the manual entry that I just showed, Dynamics 365 Business Central allows for users to import journal entries directly linking with Microsoft Excel. This is the next scenario that will demonstrate in its capability. So I'm going to return back to the general journals that we saw just a moment ago, and we'll open up that default batch. Now, instead of just typing in line by line, you'll notice here that, as in most of the list pages within the application, there's an option to edit in Excel. And this, again, maintains, by choosing this, it maintains the direct connection between the two applications, that is Dynamics 365 Business Central and Microsoft Excel. You'll notice that it even provides the security measures that we want to ensure, right? So it recognizes the user login. Now I'll select this column here. It's going to ask me for the posting date. So I'll choose that date, and then you would obviously type in, enter your details. I'll just copy and paste my details and then scroll over to the right. Again, you see all the information that is available. And now for me to push this or to publish it back into Business Central, you'll notice in the right bottom right corner, you have this publish button. Then I'll click on publish and I'll select yes. You'll see this message here in the bottom right that it was successful. Let's take a look. So I'll minimize Excel, and here I am in the general journals, and you see the items I had on my spreadsheet is now available for me here. And then I could, the next logical step would be to process and post that transaction. Now, another thing we hear a lot around is the ability, again, controls. To be able to, that's essential to the accountants, and we want to make sure we keep a track on miscellaneous expense account, that people aren't just using that as a bucket account to just put in any kind of expenses. So what I do is here on my homepage, if you remember earlier, I set up my favorite accounts, of one of which is my accounts payable. That's 20100. We'll click on that, and again, I drill right into the account number. And here I can see not only just the balance and some key metrics around this account, I could drill right into the ledger entries that represents that accounts payable, and again, do some further analysis. So they can quickly and easily see the supporting ledgers for that particular account. And then the general ledger account balance is also available for me to drill in, and I can see again where that credit amount and all these numbers are easily drillable into. We'll close that out. And again, this scenario around the goal was to demonstrate how an accountant would benefit from Dynamics 365 Business Central. The benefits are to reduce the number of clicks, improve the control of the data and business, and also limit errors and ensure correct data entry.